IVM.
Hey everybody, welcome to another week on the IVM Podcast Network. I'd like to thank our sponsors, Paytm Money Upfront. We're still in lockdown and we're trying our best to make our releases work, but we are occasionally getting a little late or slipping on some episodes. Hope that you guys continue to remain patient with us. Check out our social media accounts. We're IVM Podcast on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. We're doing something over there called the IVM Smart Guide. A bunch of our hosts are talking about things to do during the lockdown, books, movies, podcasts, etc. Check it out. I'm sure you'll enjoy it. And let's get you onto your show right now.
Okay then, so here we are, our episode 2 under quarantine.
Oh my god, that's the episode.
Wait, we are the quarantine queens. That's not bad, okay? Quarantine queen, come on.
This is worse than the upma I made for my
Fuck you.
I tried to make upma today and it was the worst. Oh my god.
Oh god, I've lost all love and joy for like good food that way because I'm not getting most of my ingredients, so I'm just like on sustenance right now.
Oh,
like,
I'm surprised I'm getting everything. Because that's the thing. For me, food is vital and...
Yeah, but like, I'm so freaked out by like, cases popping up everywhere. So I'm literally just going to my building ka kirana and nowhere else. I'm not even stepping out of my compound. Like I'm just so freaked out.
Okay. No, I've been doing my, because the thing is anyways, because of my cat, I have to step out of my house enough. So I just always and so many people on my Instagram ask me how the fuck are you getting pork and fish and all of that. And I'm like, hey, these things are available. You just need to pick a good time and go.
Yeah.
I've reached that point where, because now the highlight of any day is every meal. It's always been, okay, in my life. Like, I'll look forward to dinner. I'll cook myself a good dinner, lunch, breakfast, everything. But now because that's the only thing, in that sense, I am cooking the best things, but I don't feel like eating it. Like, I'm just like, I don't know. And I said this to a friend yesterday. He said he's feeling the exact same thing. This is also a person who like every morning makes his own juice, makes his own breakfast and lunch is planned. Everything is planned. And I'm so culinarily bored. Or should I say queerly bored.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
So well, on that note, what are we talking about? What are we talking about?
Oh my god, I don't know, man. I'm feeling so many things. Largely, I'm okay. I don't know. How are you doing? We don't have to have a topic. It's just, let's just freeball, let's just talk.
Yeah.
And maybe the topic will come to us. But how are you doing?
It's an oscillating pendulum. Like I kind of don't, there are moments when I'm fine and there are moments I'm not. And now that we are in it for another 2 weeks, it's, that kind of, it's almost like I resigned myself to.
I'm talking to you with a deodorant bottle up my ass.
Okay.
Sorry, I had to. Because the moment I heard another 2 weeks, I just started looking at everything in a very phallic sense. Deodorant bottle, comfort, fabric softener. Wow.
But, I'm finding like, and it's very important to not look at, these days as almost days where we need to kind of overachieve and stuff. But I'm ending up doing things which I was putting off for some time. For example, there were so many Korean thrillers that I was that were on my list, and I've been on this Korean thriller marathon. And oh my god, like it's just like the biggest pleasure.
Oh, I've gone on a total revisiting curve. I'm watching movies that I used to watch as a kid, and I haven't, like Matilda or like Golden Girls, I'm just revisiting all the old stuff and I'm just feeling it's like comfort food, you know what I mean? Because when I watch something new, I know I don't have the bandwidth because right now I'm a bit frazzled. The more we go into this, because here's the deal, right? I feel like Okay, if I don't know, I always mock myself. I'm one of those people who always felt like, you know what? If I ever fall into an alligator pond, I can wrestle an alligator. If I ever get attacked by a lion, oh, I'll just poke it in the eyes, and then how stupid are those who die because of animal attacks, basically. So I
Hmm.
always feel like I'm one of those people, and I know I'd die in like 30 seconds if I fell in an alligator pond. But I always had that, and this time. I guess it's called like a survivor complex. It's just
Hmm.
slowly registering in my head the gravity of the situation, or like every time it's extended. And then, so I largely have okay days, but then suddenly when I realize, oh my God, this could be, because even though they've extended it 2 weeks, the conversation is till June 30th. I don't know if you heard that.
Yeah, I
Uh,
mean,
like
there are
now,
multiple
now they're
sources
planning to
and
do
blah blah blah.
partial lockdown and
Yeah,
hotspots and all of that. So
yeah.
they'll open up base, and that's apparently projected to go until June 30th. And then I'm
Hmm.
like, I get existential about it. Like, oh my God, money. Do I have to move back? But how do I move
Hmm.
back?
Hmm.
But how
Hmm.
do I this? But my cat is not. Like, I have those moments in which I'm like, oh fuck, okay, maybe I'm not very healthy about this. In the start, I do feel I'm largely okay. I'm largely okay. But there are moments that I'm feeling overwhelmed by everything that's going on.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I kind of had a moment with my dad this other day because
Mm.
like I got a little miffed with the fact that the only conversation is all about, oh, so, this is what is happening, that is what is happening.
Yeah.
Can it just be about like personal conversations for once, like for God's
Yeah.
sake? And
Yeah.
I told him that, it's not like, the news isn't, it's not like they're sort of presenting things in a positive way. It's just
Yeah.
like bombardment. It's like a pummeling of information, and none of it is encouraging information. It's literally everything's dark and murky, and like this is going to go on and continue. And in the middle of that, I don't need you to continuously badger me with this information, because he's on this
WhatsApp
no, no,
University.
no. It's not that. It's not that. He's very practical and logical about information. But
Yeah.
his point, like, he just has this, like most parents do, this massive worry all the time. But Mumbai is the most, the worst stricken city in India, and I don't know how you are going to manage. I'm like, can you help me right now? You can't. So you have to stop burdening me with your worry right now. What you need to do is just stay on your path, be safe, and I'm going to do the same. Like every day, I remember this other day, I sniffled and he said, oh, so you need to be careful. And I was like, how do you want me to be careful? Like, tell me honestly, how do you want me to be careful? Like, not breathe, not go down to get like a loaf of bread. How do you want me to be careful? No, use mask. I'm like, I'm doing that. So
Yeah.
how else do you want me to be careful?
Yeah.
Don't just, and it's very important, I think,
But
for all of us
can
to
I
remember.
interject and give you some
No, no,
advice?
let me complete. It's very important for all of us to not project our panic on other people. It's very important to, be careful, and it's very important to be safe. But this projection of panic does not help anyone. It really, really doesn't.
I
And
get it.
especially for, like, I am a very responsible person. I'm not wild, and I just don't, like, I won't do things that are irresponsible. Like, it's not my DNA.
Yeah.
For someone who knows that, yeah, I think we need to learn that. Yeah.
No, the thing is, see, here's the deal, right? I'm going through the exact same thing. I'm someone who doesn't talk to my mother for months before this. Like, we've gone 2, 3 months without talking on the phone, and then I directly go to Pune, and that's when we talk. You know what I mean?
Mm.
And that also is hardly a conversation. It's more like what's for lunch, what's for dinner type conversation. But suddenly, because this is happening, the number of phone calls from my mom has quadrupled. Okay,
Hmm.
and suddenly it's like, oh my God, why didn't you answer? I was worried. And in fact, I'm not kidding. Even like when I told you earlier that we'll just do this call in 15, 20 minutes, my mom had been calling me since morning, and I was doing dishes and I was doing breakfast
Mm.
and I was cleaning the bathroom and whatever, and I somehow couldn't answer. And I knew that she'll keep getting worried. And in my head, I'm like, getting irritated with her. Like, hey, calm the
Mm-hmm.
fuck down. We've gone entire months. But then you know what, on another hand, like your example, like what do you want me to do, right? How I am doing the best I can. So what the fuck? I just say, you know what? Yeah, I'll take more care. Because I guess the way everybody is absorbing this is entirely different, and especially with parents, it might be more magnified and more because again, their sources are so whether it's the news, whether it's WhatsApp. That day I had to give my mom a talking down. She sent me a problematic WhatsApp. You know what I mean? One of those.
Mm.
I was like, hey mom, you need to stop fucking sending shit like this. I had to have that. So even I got into a fight, and then it went into oh, I only care about you, but people lick Amazon parcels, so don't order anything on Amazon. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? But I know my response, if it's like aggravated and this and all, it'll just fester the situation even more. So yeah, I
No,
would, I
of
would
course,
order
I
on Amazon.
understand.
That's
Yeah,
it.
of course, I
Yeah,
understand that. It's just that
yeah,
it's also very important for all of us to also think about ourselves. If I'm
yeah,
constantly getting triggered by
yeah,
non-stop like badgering about, oh, you went down, why did you go down? Did you cover your face? And I'm
yeah,
like, bro, you
yeah,
like I can.
yeah,
What if I start doing this to you?
yeah, yeah,
Like at every hour, if I start, like, you're the one who's older over here. If
yeah.
I start, I care about you, but if I start doing this whole like
Huh.
breathing down your neck, you
Yeah,
won't like it
yeah,
because we're all independent people. Yeah,
yeah,
like that's what
yeah.
we should give each other the benefit of doubt, and
Again, these are the
we.
times I really think about all the people who are stuck with their families. Like,
Oh
we
my
at
God,
least have
yeah.
this option to like, and bye mom, I'll talk to you later, I'm fine. We can do that. But people who are stuck with their families, like really our condolences. If it's bad,
Yeah.
because I was surprised. A lot of times I'm like, oh my God, what's it like being stuck with your family? Because I'm chatting with so many people, right, out of boredom. And I'm not bored. It's just that suddenly my usage of apps has gone up. And surprisingly, a lot of times they're like, hey, no, having a great time with my family, chilling. And I'm like, okay, sweet. I hear that quite a lot. So it's
Hmm.
okay. But the next person to tell me I'm so bored, I just want to pummel them to death. Because I don't know. It's so fun. The other day I read a tweet, only the boring get bored. And I really wish everybody understood that, hey, it's not about entertaining yourself. Just make peace with boredom. It's okay with being bored, like for extensive periods also. It's okay to be just bored. Like, I don't know why. Are you feeling any sort of boredom and all?
Not really. Again, like I'm very fortunate because that way work for me has been
Mm,
quite quite crazy, in fact,
mm,
quite
mm,
quite hectic. So
mm,
that's constantly keeping me on my toes. In fact,
mm,
to the point that yesterday was supposed to be a holiday, today is supposed to be a holiday, but then
mm,
half of the day I'm pretty much it's one of those
mm,
working weekends, so to say. So
mm,
so so that way, that's kept me quite
mm,
busy,
mm,
and I think that takes away. Basically, I don't have to think of things
mm,
to do um,
mm,
5 days in a week.
mm,
I literally just have to think about what to do over the
mm,
weekends and
mm,
nothing else.
mm,
And for over the weekends, I have enough, multifarious interests that way.
mm,
I paint a little, I read a little, I watch something, I listen to something, I
mm,
discover music.
mm,
So there's no dearth of it. And again, I keep going back to things
mm,
that I have said to myself in the past. I've always
mm,
kind of, hoped because
mm,
I love biting off more than I can chew when it comes to the number of things I do.
mm,
And I always hope in the back of my head that
mm,
I hope and wish that I had a little more time so that I could watch, Avengers, Infinity War and Endgame back to back.
mm,
Like,
mm,
and
mm,
now I'm I mean, I can do that. Like last night after
Yeah.
I finished work, I literally sat down and I watched Infinity War and Endgame back to back. And yeah, like I hate to be the person who, like, I know that there'll be people who would want to punch me for this, but to find a positive in all of this, I would say I have more time to do all the things that I really, really wanted to do. So yeah, that's
So
my,
it's just, I guess I'm a little confused in my life because ideally these are the things that I wanted to do when I was busy, right? But now that I have the time and again the privilege to do them, I don't feel like doing them. And then it makes you question, who the fuck am I? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
because for example, I have been on these trilogies and series and franchises binge too, you know. Like, for
yeah.
example, don't get shocked, I had never seen Star Wars as a franchise. I've seen one of here
Got
and
it.
there, but I
Hmm.
never saw, I was like, hey, you know what? This is a great time to watch Star Wars. This is a great time to finally watch Game of Thrones. I've not seen Game of Thrones. This is
Hmm.
a great time to revisit Matrix. This is a great time to rewatch the Lord of the Rings. And then what
Hmm.
happens is there's so many things to watch. I'm just like, yeah, I don't want to watch any of this shit, you know?
It's,
You'll be happy to
uh,
know though, I am, 4 seasons of RuPaul have happened.
how did you
Really?
predict the winners, right? Or what was it like, you know?
Oh my god, we should have done that. But yeah, that's
We'll do
anyway.
that. I think
We'll do
like
that.
we
We'll
can
do
do
that.
that.
But no, now
We,
that you've asked me, Bianca Del Rio is the only one I predicted right. Like, as in, I
like
was
she was a
rooting
winner.
for.
Yeah, like she was a winner
Yeah.
right from
Yeah,
the point
yeah,
she entered the
yeah,
workroom.
yeah.
Like, oh
Otherwise,
my
now
god.
I've reached a point where I feel like I am personally jinxing these people because whoever I actually root for never wins.
I'm not
And
going to ask you who you rooted for because we'll save that for another
sure,
episode. I
for a
think we
proper
should
RuPaul episode, we should
RuPaul
save it.
episode.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Considering that season 12 is like halfway there and
yeah.
it's been an amazing season so far. So we'll do that on another episode.
We
But
must, we must.
What else have you been doing? I mean, tell me.
Literally, man, I don't know. I don't know. I'm just like, oof. I will know better in a week or two. Uh,
Yeah.
uh, I don't want to get grim about this, but one of my symptoms of being bipolar is I feel like I'm going extreme broad strokes when I say this, and it might fly over everyone's head, whoever's listening.
Hmm.
But I feel one of the symptoms is I live in the moment when I see it as a symptom because I feel everything too intensely, whether I'm happy, whether I'm sad, whether I'm confused. It all happens in its entirety. It's not like half-baked happiness, half-baked sadness, right? So in a way, I'm feeling alive right now through all of this. But the
Hmm.
problem with that is that the next day, if I had to be like, hey, how did you feel yesterday? I have no idea. That's something that's bothersome to me because in the past when that has started or that has happened, it slowly has veered towards this very frantic,
Hmm.
frenetic, I don't know, stressful and I'm about to snap kind of situations. So I'm keeping
Hmm.
it cool. I'm doing like how much as I can meditate as much as I can, rationalize as much as I can. I'm keeping it together in that sense. But
Hmm.
I do know that the sharks are swimming.
Hmm.
The sharks
No,
are swimming.
I know
So,
because there are days I call them the cloudy days
mm,
when I kind of feel like there's no sunshine. There's like it just feels exactly like that. Like
mm,
and like at the beginning of all of this, it used to happen as momentary flashes.
mm,
Um, but over time, over the next, as things proceeded, like once April started, I think those moments turned into like proper, legit time periods, like
mm,
hours of just me feeling, fuck, what's going to happen? Like this is
mm,
literally 3 months out of my career. Like
mm,
for me, I'm looking at it as that. Like 3 months, I could have done so much more, and I
mm,
love professionally what I do.
yeah,
It's 3 months of things I could have done to advance, and everything. And all of that is in a gutter right now. And yeah, like those things keep bothering me. And then I kind of, rein it back, and then I just tell myself that, can you control this? You can't. And just the way you are going through it, it's not something that's only happening to you because you did something wrong. It's happening to the whole world. So it's not like you are just taking a pause. It's the world that's taking a pause. So chill the fuck out, because you have a lot of things which a lot of other people don't. So just, don't be so, don't be so privileged and still, like, be all,
Yeah. I
yeah,
know, but even see, I'm telling you, that's such a double-edged sword,
yeah.
because every time you belittle whatever you are feeling,
I
it
know, I
immediately is
know.
indirectly means you're bottling up shit. Like that's
Yes,
directly.
absolutely,
So in that
absolutely.
sense, again, to feel it in its entirety, whether it's horror, whether it's anxiety, whether it's sadness, whether it's happiness, whatever it is,
Yeah.
I feel like again, in that sense, I have learned how to use my symptoms to my strength. So right now when I
Yeah.
say that I'm feeling all these things very intensely, I'm
Hmm.
allowing myself to feel those things. I'm not
Yeah.
fighting them. It's like you said, right? Like again, I know that every day I have these moments that I'm like, maybe my seminal TV show that I write or book that I write will happen in this quarantine. And then every
Hmm.
day is a day that I don't work towards it. And every
Hmm.
day I push it. And I have that moment where I'm like, you know what? You're such a fucking loser. Even now, in these times, you can't, when you have all the time and all
Hmm.
the means and everything, to just focus. And I'll do that self bashing. But it's not even about reining it back. I just instantly, while I'm thinking that, I'm like, this is so illogical to think right now.
Hmm.
Because I will totally, like I said, I cannot fathom the gravity of the situation sitting at home right now. Even if I was out
Hmm.
in the world right now, I wouldn't be able to fathom the gravity of the situation. So to
I
do
know.
that in any sense, I'm just like, you know what, Farhad, don't. You don't deserve it.
Yeah,
It's okay.
absolutely.
It's absolutely okay if you don't even fucking do one ab crunch. You don't write a single page of your book. You don't.
Yeah.
It's okay if you do that for as long as you don't want to do it. It's
Yeah,
just like,
yeah.
don't fucking try to swim upstream right now. Just fucking go
Yeah.
where the river's going.
Just float
Yeah,
right now. No,
yes.
I totally agree with you. I'm totally of the same sentiment, because for me again, it's so important for me to just keep myself afloat and do things that are just channeling the sunshine. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there was someone who messaged me a couple of days back because I was putting up these paintings every single day on Instagram, and
I
and the
saw, I
message
saw, yeah.
and the message said something to the effect of, like, it was a very sweet message, but it said something to the effect of, oh, you know what, this is so inspiring because you've turned this into a total achievement. And I had to tell that person, this is so not an achievement, because I'm, for example, now I'm taking a breather from it because I ran out of canvases and I thought I would start photography, but then I just don't feel like it every morning. And I told this person the same, that, you know what, this is not a quest for an achievement. Like, this is not that at all. This is just me trying to channel the sunshine. And because I saw pretty stuff, there were people who said, "Why don't you put it up?" I put it up. That's it. That there is nothing more to it. This is not uh, you know, a, a viral challenge that's going anywhere. So it's really, really just that. It's a very, very personal quest to just stay afloat, and literally nothing else. So I started writing, uh, 2 days back again, just pieces of poetry here and there, and some pieces I'll maybe put up, some pieces I won't. But again, I'll write when I feel like writing, and then if I just want to curl up and on a day when there's no work, if I just want to curl up and watch television and just like let it pass, I think it's totally fair if I just let it pass.
Mm. That's the only way to deal with it, man. I don't know what to say. What else can we do? Like, really, what
Yeah,
else?
like
What else?
this isn't under control, our control. There is
Yeah.
literally no zero,
Why are you coughing,
factors.
Sunetro? Don't go
Oh my
down.
god.
Wear a mask. Wash all your vegetables before eating them. How dare you cough? Oh my
This is
god.
my life, not your life.
Ah, oh my
Don't
god.
try.
Ah,
Yeah, but yeah. So for me, there are zero aspects that are under your control apart
ah,
from literally your four walls and nothing
ah,
else.
ah,
So I mean, what can you do? You just
ah.
continue living. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah. Ah, I get.
But tell me something.
Hmm.
Would you choose to quarantine any other way? Like obviously not like not a. I'm not talking about like let's build a fantasy quarantine situation, but a realistic situation where you could have quarantined. Would you choose it? For example, what if you were in Pune right now with your family and then this struck? Would that have been better because you would have more,
I know it would have.
you would have
See, but again, that
you would have
and
time with your dad. You would have a little bit of company. Would you choose that?
dude, how do I say this? A full yes and a full no. Does that make sense? Because when you said
Explain.
to spend time with my dad, I would love nothing more. But that
Hmm.
also means I have to spend time with my mom, and I would
Hmm.
not want anything more. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah.
and being holed up with them again. Certain things happen when you find freedom in life. And to go back on that, I know it will be a lot of stepping toes, a lot of,
Hmm.
because if over the phone it is so like, because here's the deal, right? Like I spoke in the previous episode, I have not had the option to quarantine or self-isolate because my cat's been so sick for the past 3 weeks.
Yeah,
I've had to step out every day, go to the vet's clinic, deal with a million fucking chemists and like stand in lines at the chemist. So I've
yeah.
not had that option. And and my mom's been giving me so much grief about that. You know what but just for a cat, why do you want to go through so much? You know what I mean? And it's like, I don't expect her to understand that he's not my
Hmm.
cat. He's my
Yeah,
fucking soulmate, roommate, boyfriend, everything.
yeah.
You know what I mean? I know if I saw even a sliver of that side of her while I'm living with her, I would lose my shit. I
Hmm.
like to believe that I wouldn't lose my cool, but
Hmm.
wait, I'm digressing. Yeah, so if I had to, I did think of a few scenarios actually. Like, had I had a boyfriend right now, would I have enjoyed this more? If I was with my family, would I have enjoyed this more?
Hmm.
I have a friend who went on a holiday with her boyfriend to go, and she's been stuck there for 3 weeks. You know what I mean?
Hmm. Hmm.
Would I have enjoyed that more? It's suddenly being stranded in an entirely different
Yeah,
city. Of course,
yeah,
Goa is great, I'm sure, but like, you know what I mean? Imagine I have a friend who went to Indore to just visit his family and he got stuck there. My brother's
yeah.
stuck in Bangalore. He went to meet
Hmm.
his wife. He was supposed to come back on a Monday and boom, lockdown. And he couldn't come back. So I do think of those scenarios and I'm going to give such an annoying answer, but in the end, right now, I feel like the could have, should have, would have, all of that has kind of gone out of the window. So I don't think about those scenarios much.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Because my reality right now is so stark and this that we are going through that I cannot like even. I know that if I was in Pune, I would have fucking lost my cool. I know if I was stuck in some other city, I wouldn't have dealt with it well. I know if it was with a boyfriend, I don't know. I don't know. I just don't think of these things honestly right now. I don't think I'm being able to give a good answer. By the way, okay, you know what though? You seen this movie Take Shelter?
Yeah,
Yeah, what's his name? Michael Shannon, yeah?
Shannon. Yeah.
Yeah, and I felt like I was that person. I constantly kept feeling like a day will come where this kind of a situation will
mm,
arise, and will I rise to the occasion? I have. I have. I
mm,
really feel like I'm doing 50 times better than most of my friends right now in terms of, even though I've been given a solid dollop of shit on my plate right
mm,
now after the lockdown, from my cat falling
mm,
ill to my dad actually not keeping too well and me not being able to go to Pune to tend to him, those kind of things. Like,
mm,
I feel like had they happened in a normal, and by normal I'm doing quotes unquote, you know what I mean? Air quotes, but like had this all happened in a normal time, me losing both my freelancing gigs, or I would have freaked out. But because
mm,
it's happening in a point in time where the world has collectively gone to shit, I feel like I stepped up to the plate in some sense. You
mm.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
In fact, I was telling my friend the other day, in these action films, sometimes there's this one wimpy guy who is a wimp throughout the movie, but then something solid happens and suddenly he steps up to the plate and he turns out to be the hero. I feel like that right now. That I'm just keeping my cool, I'm fucking keeping my head down, and by head down, I mean bowing down to my anxieties and my everything, and I'm just doing what I feel I should do in the now, in the moment, day to day. That's how I'm living my life, and I feel like it's keeping me sane. Ah,
Mm.
I talk so much. I'm so sorry. Oh my god. Do you have an ideal quarantine situation if there's anything like that?
Given like I'm being like in terms of just very realistic scenarios,
Hmm.
I'm in the best situation I could have been in.
Hmm. Hmm.
I'm in a home
Same
by
page. Yeah.
myself.
Yeah.
I have enough rooms in this whole house to,
Hmm.
hop, skip, jump,
Hmm.
walk
Not feel
around,
stifled.
not feel stifled.
Yeah.
My society has, like enough space to just like, for me to
Yeah.
stretch my
Stretch. Yeah.
legs
Yeah.
and yeah, like I don't need to panic about like necessities.
Hmm.
There is a kirana dukan right downstairs. So,
Hmm.
like I have it all set, which is why
Hmm.
the moment I kind of start feeling like, why can't,
Hmm.
like my oil, this is gonna sound
Hmm.
so like
Hmm.
problematic, but,
Hmm.
I'm almost, like done with my oyster sauce bottle. So I was like, oh, my oyster sauce
Hmm.
bottle is sort of, just like,
Hmm.
I won't have, like, I always order it on Amazon, and Amazon's
Hmm.
only delivering
Hmm.
essentials right now.
Yeah.
And then I check myself and I'm like, check your privilege, bitch.
Hmm.
Like, really.
Hmm.
You
Hmm.
can't do oyster sauce, do fucking soy sauce.
Hmm.
And shut the fuck up.
Hmm.
Like,
Hmm.
there are people who, and again, this is going to sound very patronizing and, whatever. This whole, oh, there are poor children in Somalia, that kind of a,
Yeah.
narrative.
Yeah.
But, but for me, it's very important to also check myself where I'm unnecessarily whining.
Yeah.
It's very important to allow yourself to feel, but
Yeah.
also not come to a point where the feeling stems from being, from a spoiled
Yeah.
place.
No, but
So.
that's the thing about this whole situation, right? I'll give you an example. I have a friend who's an absolute narcissist. Yeah, he's a
Hmm.
lovely person. Narcissists can be lovely people, but he's an absolute narcissist. And for the first time, I'm hearing him say sentences like these, which is, "Oh, but someone else doesn't, have it like
Hmm.
I do, oh, I have it better than someone else, basically.
Hmm. Hmm.
And it's just, that's the thing. Sometimes I feel like this whole situation, this whole pandemic, this whole worldwide sudden affected, whatever we can call it, I feel like it's a way of the universe holding a mirror up to everyone individually.
Hmm.
If you choose
Yeah.
to be racist in this time, this is what your mirror is showing you. If you choose to
Yeah.
be empathetic in this time, this is what the mirror is showing you. If you choose to, you know what I mean? If you were a strong person, but suddenly I have a friend who like I thought was in the like what do I say? He was like inscrutable. Like, you know what I mean? He was like, I looked to him for, oh my God, this guy's got his shit together. Oh my God, he invests in stocks. Oh my God, this guy's health is fucking amazing. Oh my God,
Hmm.
this guy's got it together. I looked at him like that. But suddenly I'm seeing him lately and he's not doing okay at all. He's not dealing with this well at all.
Hmm.
I'm assuming that's what his mirror is showing him. You know what I mean? Like,
I
I
think
just,
it's you know what, one thing that this thing has done is
yeah,
shown. Firstly, it's shown everyone that no one is perfect because everyone's dealing with this,
yeah,
and you know the and I really hope that we remember this learning because you know this insecurity that kind of creeps in from the fact that, oh, that person's life so perfect.
yeah,
That person is so happy.
yeah,
Um, it's all a fucking illusion because we all project only the parts that we want the world to
yeah,
see, and now most people are seeing. We obviously we are venting and we are ranting and everyone's it's all out there for everyone to see.
yeah.
Everyone can just take a moment. If everyone can just take a moment and just see how everyone is in similar shit,
Yeah. You know, my friend
people can
nailed
just,
it the other day. She said it exactly like this, that, hey, I don't know what this has changed, but if one thing has been dismantled because of the pandemic, it's the rat race. And I really
yeah,
fucking understood what she, like, I really felt that when she said that, because that's the one thing, whether it's like comparison, whether it's like who's got more money, it's just
hmm,
suddenly for something like microscopic to come and entirely change the course of our history. And I'm
yeah.
so sorry, I'm feeling like diffuser oil while saying all of this. It's so funny that this is going to be on air and people are going to be listening, and I'm here just filling up my diffuser oil, lighting a
But
candle.
hey, that's like this is like a microcosm of what exactly what's happening. Like this other day, I remember I did a full video call
Yeah.
while I was in my kitchen
Huh.
making tomato chutney.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I
hey, that's
totally get it.
reality
Yeah.
today.
Yeah. Yeah. But I'm so excited to see a couple of things as and when this is over. One is people's relationship with social media. What's it like?
Hmm.
Because I
Hmm.
feel either everyone's become more dependent now on it, or people hate it now because they're so
Yeah.
fucking bored of using it so much. I'm, by the way, going to be a Scrabble mastermind once I'm done with this quarantine. I've been
Yeah.
playing so much Scrabble, it's fucking insane. Secondly, I want to see just how do people, if I met my parents now, even though I've perfectly gone 2-3 months in the past without meeting them, you know what I mean? Now, if I
Hmm.
meet them, I wonder if it will be any different. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's like, I feel like it will be like a huge homecoming for everyone once we can go
No,
back to
I
like
for
a regular life.
someone who I love being alone, and I am not a very social person that way, but
Mm,
for someone who really likes their own time,
mm.
I'm looking forward to
Yeah,
meeting people,
yeah, yeah,
just like
yeah,
it's been a month like
yeah.
where I've not had any physical contact. Like, oh my God, I'll suck any dick.
Ah,
Like,
no,
yeah, so it's just one of those, oh God.
dude.
And yeah, I made it sexual, but then it's not
No,
just that.
no,
It's
dude,
just,
I'm telling you,
um,
I'm in a dilemma right now. I have a fuck buddy. Sorry, there we go again. I have a fuck buddy who stays a building away. And he just gave me yesterday. He was like, hey, what's up? And I know he was kind of teetering towards like, do you want to meet up? Right?
hmm,
And right now it's the responsible thing is to not, right?
yeah,
Uh, but I did find myself feeling a little weak in the moment and being like, hey, like rationalizing with myself in the wrong way. Which is,
yeah,
you know what, he just lives here. I don't know how that makes any of a difference. Secondly, I know I have to be more responsible because, again, I have not been self-isolating as much as I should because of
yeah.
whatever. So, I don't want to put someone else at risk. In fact, all my friends are in Bandra. I can fucking just go down on my bike, just hang out with someone's friends, and I know that, oh, it will be okay. It's not like,
Hmm.
but just I don't know how this works, so I'm just like keeping
Yeah.
my head down and fucking doing it. But
No, I on the same lines. There's this one buddy of mine who
mm,
we we meet up pretty often.
mm,
We are uh, and he stays like 10 minutes away,
mm,
and I don't know whether I would have been foolish to
mm,
do this,
mm.
but I'm very sure I would have made an attempt if my building was not like, strict, because
Yeah,
my
yeah,
building is
yeah,
not even allowing
yeah.
like family
Same,
members who
same.
weren't inside.
Yeah.
So like the guards refused to allow, like the guards have not gone home because they were told. And so basically the guards are living in empty flats over here. And
Mm,
it's this whole like dystopian scenario where
mm,
no one comes in, no one goes out
mm, mm,
type of a thing.
mm,
So I'm sure I would have like felt the itch and I would have said, hey, just like come over, man.
mm.
Like,
Aja,
and
aja, band
we can,
baja leke
yeah.
aja. Yeah.
Yeah, and maybe we can do like breakfast tomorrow and like things like that. I'm sure I would have. But like, again, the reality is so freaky.
Yeah.
I just don't know how this is like
Yeah. In
traveling
fact,
from one
I
person
had
to
a good
another.
dilemma. I live with two boys, right? I have two flatmates, yeah. And I came home from the clinic the other day, and one of my flatmates is not home, and I assumed he's gone down to buy groceries or
Hmm.
something. And then it's late in the night, I asked my other flatmate, hey, where the fuck is this guy? And he's like, oh, he's gone for a hookup. And my first reaction was to get pissed off. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Like, hey, does he realize that he's putting us at danger? If
Yeah.
anything. Secondly, like, what the fuck? Like, how what are your priorities in life? And then, of course, again, in my head, I was like, you know what? I can't get pissed off about this because I immediately wanted to give him a earful when he was back after 3 days. Okay. But my first reaction was to get pissed with him. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And then in my head, I
Yeah.
was like, you know what? Again, my priorities are different. I have to go out for whatever reasons I'm going out. But even I'm buying groceries. I bought pork the other day, which made me feel guilty that wow, look at you, you're so privileged right now that you fucking
Hmm.
went and bought pork and all of that. So even I'm self bashing, but then I was like, you know what, I can't get angry with him. But
Yeah.
then on top of that, when that hookup of mine or the fuck buddy of mine messaged me like, hey, what's up? So bored. First of all, so I cannot talk to anybody right now who says the word bored to me.
Bored.
Because you know what? Deal with it. Fucking
Yeah. Like find something
the
to do.
entire
Like,
planet is bored. And it's not,
yeah.
again, I'm saying this again and again, it's not even about finding something to do. Just make peace with boredom. It's a thing you have to make peace with because you are not going to be entertained throughout your life existentially ever. If you're right now bored that you can't go out and eat KFC or whatever the fuck is boring you, you have obviously never dealt with existential boredom, which is like
Yeah.
achievement unlocked difficult level, where you're bored of your
Uh,
job, you're bored of living, you're bored of like everything, and you just wanna, you know what I mean? So I'm like,
yeah.
you fucking just shut the fuck up. Like, don't say the word bored to me. And look, I'm bored, but I'm okay being bored. I'm horny, but I'm okay being horny. It doesn't mean I have to end it. I have to end it right now. My horniness or my
Yeah.
boredom. So in my head, I was like, where the fuck are your priorities? But again, it's not something I brought up. But
Hmm.
I'm just feeling guilty because now, ever since yesterday, it was like, oh, it's been extended by 2 more weeks. I'm like, it gets weaker and weaker, my resolution to self-isolate. Again,
Hmm.
I know I won't. I know I won't. It's just, he's starting to get a little pissed off with me. You know what I mean? Like,
Hmm.
hey, what? It's not such a big deal. And I'm trying to explain to him
It
that
kind of is. I'm sorry, but it
it
kind of
is.
is. It is that
Sorry.
big a deal.
It is a big deal. I know, and in my head, I'm trying to repeatedly tell him, listen, you're talking to someone who's not been at home. If I was at home, ironclad, never got out in my compound, bhaji wala ke paas jaake aa gaya, that kind of like,
Hmm.
if I had maintained isolation, I feel like I would have acted on this. But I have not been that person. I have interacted with 50 people in the past 3 weeks. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
60 people, 70 people maybe. And that also at possible hotspots, vet
Mm-hmm.
clinic, chemist, fucking market, you know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm.
it's not about you, it's me, you know what I mean? I feel like I shouldn't be. But again, he was like, oh, fine, 2 whole weeks more, okay, man, cool. He's giving me some, and then I'm like, calm down again,
Yeah, like please.
Yeah, I'm not gonna sit and fucking appease to you in
Shut
like,
up, Karen.
yeah. But it is a confusing time. Do you feel any different? Like this is not a
I
word.
mean,
Relationshipically, do you feel anything? What is it like to be single and be in quarantine? Do you feel there's any correlation in that?
so I don't feel the need to kind of, like I think I'm feeling like I'm losing, how do I put it? That I brought myself back up to, opening myself up to, dating and all of that. And I'm like sort of kind of on casual dates with whatever. But over the last 2 weeks, I just feel like that's been kind of,
Mm.
just not important. And I know that it's just because of this situation, but that's where I am at. Like,
Mm.
I just feel like, yeah, this is not important. Like in the beginning, I remember there were like, I, uh, with a couple of my fuck buddies, we like video chatted and all of that and like whatnot. And that was fine. But now I'm just like, yeah, I just don't give a fuck. Like, just let this get over. I don't want to, it's almost like I'm in my head, this is a pause, like, and I'm doing nothing during the pause. I'm not going to do anything during the pause. So it's literally that I'm approaching it from a pause point of view. Everything's on a pause when it comes to my personal life. So yeah, I guess that's how I'm, you know, processing it. I don't find any other, uh, rational way of approaching this.
For me, as happy as I am that I'm single through all of this, I do find myself thinking that, hey, I will put myself out a bit more after this is done. I feel it.
True. I agree.
It's something I said before, even before the quarantine.
Yeah.
But this time I really feel like, you know what? इतना dismantling किया तो थोड़ा walls भी dismantle करता हूँ, like that kind of a situation.
Yeah. Of course.
Yeah. I guess quarantine time we don't do breaks anymore. It's just one big episode. Jam
One
it in.
big episode.
Yeah. Also, I feel like we should just quickly run over this, but I know we promised part 2
An
of our
AMA,
AMA,
yes.
and we will get around to doing that. Yeah, just when we are back in the studio. So I got a lot of messages. A lot of people happen to enjoy the AMA episode. So there will be a part 2. It just won't be back to back. So don't be a silly person and be like, no, but they promised part 2. Where's part 2? Don't be that person.
We actually want to do it when we're in the studio because it's just,
it's nice.
we want to be together
nicer.
and when we do this and
I want to be able to see Sunetru's lovely face while he answers all these questions.
So I think just that it makes a world of difference and I think that's what, like, we should just hold on to it. We keep coming up with other things that we talk about. We talk about RuPaul's Drag Race and we'll, by the time we are a couple of episodes in, I guess, I'm hoping that
now in retrospect, if you had to say what was today's episode about, do you have any idea what it was about?
It's about quarantine queens.
Quarantine queens. Yeah, okay, done. You can have that. It sounded better the second time. As an episode name, it sounds good, I guess.
I think we should do that. Keep for quarantine queens.
So we good for today?
Yeah, I think so. And keep sending us. There are so many people who sent me a lot of questions, so we will keep sending us the questions. We will answer them. Yeah, and we'll answer them in an episode.
And for fuck's sake, don't tell us you're bored.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And just go easy on yourself. Just don't be too harsh on yourself right now. Allow yourself the time to feel bad, feel good. Just allow yourself to feel.
I'm going to rephrase that. Don't be too harsh To be named. Just don't be harsh.
Yeah.
Don't be little harsh also. Just fucking. It's an hour to hour living thing right now. Really, it's not even a day to day living. Sometimes I feel like I wake up from a nap because I've gone back to napping in the afternoons. Yeah.
Hmm.
And I wake up murderous, like frothing at the mouth, kind of murderous, like when I'm up. And because again, right, if you wake up, what have I got to look forward to apart from dinner? So, what I'm trying to say is,
Yeah.
just feel all of it. Just feel it. Feel frothy,
Just,
feel
yeah.
angry, feel
Yeah,
happy,
yeah,
the
yeah.
little joys, the
Go
big
through the
sad.
motions.
Yeah, just go
Go
through
through
it.
the motions, and hopefully, I'm not saying you'll be fine, but you'll feel better than you would have felt if you bottled it up.
Mm. Okay, I guess that's it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go
Yes.
binge watch something again.
Yeah.
And
So you have a good week, everyone, and Farhad, you have a good week
I miss
too.
you, man, Shanika. I miss
I
everybody.
miss. Yeah.
Yeah. We
Let's.
have to,
Here's hoping.
once we do this, we are going to work 10 times harder to start doing guests on the show, I guess.
Yes,
Like once we,
definitely.
I don't know why. I just
Totally.
feel like, because right now when I said I miss you, I also wanted to say I miss all our listeners who I've never met. I've never met
Yeah.
our listeners, but I
Yeah.
miss if people tune in to connect to us. I feel like we do this to connect with them. So just for the sake of that, I feel like we should go back to like having people.
Yeah.
Okay.
Totally.
All right. That's it for this week. We'll talk to you
Yes.
soon. Bye.
Bye.
Are you constantly seeking happiness? Wondering how to make the most of every day? How not to let your inhibitions stop you from achieving your goals? It's now time to get your A game on. It's time to unlock your true potential. Tune in to the Empowering series with me, Zarina Poonawalla, to feel empowered in all genres of life. From behavioral skills to management skills. From health to relationships. From mental well-being to emotional well-being. And of course, your finances. I've got you covered. With these tips and tricks from me, Zarina, and true life stories from my amazing guests, you're bound to bring your purest to the table. Tune in to the Empowering series with Zarina Poonawalla every Thursday on the IVM Podcast app, website, or wherever you listen to podcasts.
Filter coffee is a fascinating beverage. You need to pick the right beans, blend them in the right proportion, roast them to perfection, and slow brew at the right temperature to get the perfect cup. Which is exactly like great conversations as well. You need to track down the most interesting minds, get them into their zone, and settle down for an unhurried, unscripted chat. And coffee for me is always, always, always best enjoyed with friends. I'm Karthik Nagarajan, and do share my table as I meet some of the most interesting people I know and sit them down for a strong cup of coffee and an even stronger conversation. Join me every Wednesday for a freshly brewed episode. This is not frappe. This is the Filter Coffee Podcast.